Okay, we're back again, and this is a very, very long overdue sequel to a game which I did not anticipate needing a sequel to begin with. About 1,000 years ago, I ran a game which was called Retale Work, which I will summarise, but only after I have had my lovely players introduce themselves and their characters. So, one at a time from top of the order in Discord to the bottom, if you can introduce yourself and your character.
So that'll start with me. I'm Snail. I am unusually high on the list because I'm not going. I have a Discord nickname. I am playing Grandmappa. They use they/them pronouns, and they are a warlock who is currently wearing just well, it's probably best if I show you because they were sort of frustrated at the tail end of retail work. So they got outfitted for the job. And they are wearing this kitty cat scarf and this doggy print sweater and just the most hideous jorts. I am sorry. I know that I made them, but they're just hideous. And they've also got way too small boots because those are boots of real kind. They went to the trading post and have outfitted themselves for whatever comes next. And I've been spending the last couple of months occasionally doing odd jobs. They have not been moping. They've probably been moping a little bit because they had one job that ended because Spinell had to leave because they made a bad roll, and then the next job they couldn't even keep everybody safe. So they've also prepared by getting the observant feat, which means that their passive perception is through the roof.
It's crazy, you guys. This passive perception is bonkers. It's a 17? They have 17! Absolutely wild. Anyway, next...
They are no longer missing passive perception checks.
Very good. Watch me not make you make any now. Okay, Highway, you're next.
Hello. Been a while since I've actually played a Toonkind D&D game, but yeah, I'm Highway, and I'll be playing Buddy who worries. Now Buddy's half clone Toonkind. After the last thing, he's felt pretty bad because he failed the job, so he's been trying to do self-care, looking after himself. He's got a new suit. It's a flashy black and red one with the interiors, and he may have gone a bit overboard with buying weapons. And now he's pretty much like his big sister, got a massive maul, and he's not afraid to whack people with it now.
Awesome. That's always good. Always good. Being able to hit a person is good in D&D. And last we have Kanpukugu. Please go ahead and introduce yourself. I probably said your name wrong already. Sorry.
Hello, I'm Kanpukugu and I'm playing Kuko. Kuko is a rabbit monk who looks like a boxer. He punched things and that's it of him. After failing terribly in the previous session, he doesn't really pay a lot of money. They think of like losing the badge and all that, but the other story told him something that wrecked his mind in some sort. You see, Kuko doesn't like to get priced, and he kinda got priced, and he's like, hey, let me find this guy to tell him that I'm totally not cute. And so here it is.
Okay. And yes, as mentioned, I will now summarize what happened in the last game with these three, because Jeremy Grasshopper asked these three lovely individuals to help him run the Old Man Gelato's wooden toy shop, and they did a great job, and they sold lots of toys and had a lovely time, and they also got cash money for doing that. However, Jeremy Grasshopper had a very special badge given to him by the Green Fairy, the slightly more tipsy version of the other fairy that you probably more famously heard of. And three rather unsavory hyenas came into the shop right at the end of opening hours, and they had a wonderful punch up. And they beat all the hyenas, but they failed multiple passive perception rolls, and the badge was stolen by definitely a recolor of a particular hedgehog, not the blue one, called Shade. And he taunted them and used the badge on them a little bit, in fact, and then disappeared in a dust cloud over the horizon, which I didn't anticipate happening. So now we are going to find out where the heck that badge is. So yeah, it's been a few months, in fact, since this last event. Have you guys been, like, sticking around where the toy shop is? Have you just been going off on your own way and have come back? Like, you got an invitation to, like, a lunch. Like, the guys wanted to see you again and check up on you, but, like, what have you been doing for the past, let's say, 2 months?
Should I start again?
Yeah, sure.
So, may I reference another game that I was not part of, but the badge was?
Mm-hmm. You absolutely can.
So, Grand Mappa heard that the badge was somewhere in the range of the Idyll Island, even though they heard of it too late, because when they went there, Idyll Island had already been cleaned up and cleared out, and there was no sign of the badge. So they did spend some time in the proper theme park, and then sort of have been just skirting around, practicing their now extremely high passive perception, just trying to see if they can find the badge until they got the letter to check in.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Buddy, how about you? What
They're
have you been...
a little bit focused on finding this. They're
Just
a little bit sore about this.
Just a little bit.
Little bit. Buddy's been hanging around the area. He actually lives near the area, so he's been, well, trying not to beat himself up too much. Again, he's been spending a bit on himself. He's been just generally, and also he's been training just to. He may or may not have got painted a picture of this certain hedgehog onto a training dummy and is beating the ever living stuff out of it with various weapons.
Good.
Just a smidge bit. I'm happy with them. Just a smidge.
Excellent. Work out that stress. Kanpukugu, how about you? I mean, not you, but Kuko.
Kuko. Well, he didn't really pay a lot of attention after the badge was stolen. He keep his normal life and going in underground fights to survive. But he keep in touch with the shopkeeper to see if they could lead it to the page eventually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, you've all respectively done this, and for long enough that you all leveled up, which is wonderful. So you're all level 4 now. So you're having lunch with Jeremy the Grasshopper, and it's wonderful that Grandmappa has actually saved me having to get you to go and visit Ankwell Park, because you hung around there, and presumably you talked to the owner, who is called TP Barnon, or Barnon, and he bursts in the door and says, "We got him! We got a lead!" And he throws down a piece of paper and he says, "Well, you know, I hired those 3 people. Oh, hi, you guys don't know me. I'm very important, famous. I run Ankwell Park, and there was this thing with Idyll Island. Doesn't matter."
Slow down for the rest of them.
Sorry. I just ran all the way here. Expeditious retreat, you know, it takes it out of you. Anyway, so, you know, I heard about that sleazy fox, and apparently some people got, like, a vibe from him. He was really persuasive, and then some people were like, "Oh yeah, he was wearing a shiny badge, you should totally check that out." We got his name, finally! And he holds up a wanted poster. And this fox is a very debonair, dashing-looking individual. And in the background of the photograph on this poster, you can see a cat who looks like he's not all there. He looks like he's a bit spaced out, but he's not the object of the poster. And this is Honest Dom. And in fact, the cat is called Diggion. And they were spotted in not Angkor Park, but this pop-up fake island of entertainment, which people were persuaded to go to, and then were polymorphed into donkeys by being encouraged to do naughty things. And it was terrible, and a lot of the donkeys have been missing and were not returned. But yeah, so this guy who's very famous has run over, and because Grandmappa, I think you made friends with him because, you know, you're just unusual, being slightly Toonkind, real kind in appearance, and TP Bar Non is very much about friendship between all races, but is particularly keen on building peace between real kind and Toonkind, which is a big issue at the moment. So he's run over and given you this as soon as he possibly could. And yeah, do you want to interview this guy at all?
Grandmappa is going to take the paper and say, "Everyone, P.T. Barnon, surprising appearance, my friend. You could have sent a letter."
That's no
and they're
fun.
sort of scanning over the picture. "I know Expeditious Retreat takes it out of you, good friend. Sit down.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Oh, I am so sorry. Well, I should hope you are. And he's nearly sat on Jeremy, but he didn't, so this is very good. No fatalities in this game. How about you two? You've never met this guy before, but you may have heard of him because he runs this very famous theme park that's slap bang in the middle of the entire continent of Ankwell.
Yeah. So QQ also takes a paper.
This is certainly interesting, but is he still at the island? Or
Oh no,
where he is?
The island kind of collapsed. We think it was made out of earth, you know, one of those mold earth cantrips, like used lots of times. It was a real eyesore. I'm not sorry to have seen it gone, but we've got the guy's name, and I heard that there was a sighting somewhere here in Toontown, so I thought, well, might as well stop in on Grandmappa, my best buddy, and he's giving you a good old slap on the back there. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
I want to be clear. No matter what the saving throw is, Grandmappa is going to lean into the gag and go, "Ooh!"
Yes.
Yes.
20.
That's a dirty 20, so it doesn't actually hurt. But they play with gags. That's sort of their whole thing. Is they're the grandparent sort of thing, but they play into every gag they can. So they go, "Oh," and then like clutch their shoulder and like, "Oh, have you been on the weights or something, pal?"
There's such a card. Anyway, what are you guys' names?
My name's Buddy Who Worries.
Buddy! You're buddies with my buddy, isn't that fitting? He's doing a big hearty laugh that I can't do because I've got a sore throat today.
Oh no!
It's only a little, don't worry.
And I'm Cook. Nice to meet you.
Fantastic. Oh, love the ears. Great look. Now, see, I kind of had to come here and give you this information because I gotta go because there's a lot happening. And we've got some trade back at Ankwell Park, which is great, but my gosh, there's a lot to fix. So, okay, I'm gonna go before this expeditious retreat rolls off. Oh, is that a croissant? I'm gonna get one of those. Okay, bye! And he is gone immediately out of the door. He's
Is the croissant gone?
Yeah, definitely. And Gelato just waves. He's this very nice old Frankenali. He's quite real kind-ish. He's a very human version of Frankenali, but he's more toonish than Grandmappa. And yes, he says, "Well, gosh, wasn't that an exciting visitation? Well, it sounds like this lunch will have to be put on hold. Let me just get you something for the journey." And he goes over to his cupboard, and you all get a health potion from Gelato. So these will heal you for 2d4 plus 4, as is tradition. So that's just the regular kind. So you have
Thank you.
Yeah, you have this information, which I have splurged very quickly because I wanted to get this all out of the way very quickly. And I think now is the time to roll investigation because you have a lead and the idea that Honest Dom is somewhere in Toontown. But Toontown is quite a big place.
Investigation. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I'm saying roll investigation, but if you want to describe what you're doing or how you're doing it, love that flavor. Okay, a 2. You managed to find your own feet.
The city, and it's upside down.
I think Grandmappa is gonna roll investigation, even though they're not great at it,
Mhm.
because this is a lead, and I can't think of another way to approach it. They get a 6, so
Oh.
they're sure looking at it.
Okay, fortunately, it seems that one of you is on this. Buddy, do you want to describe what you do?
Well, Buddy's gonna be looking through the papers, just generally buying a lot of papers, just generally flicking through them all, see if you can actually find anything. And
Okay.
even goes as far as looking at other people's papers while they're reading it.
This works out, and in fact, it isn't reading the papers that does this, it's your nosy looking over people's shoulders that does it, because you hear a muttered conversation between two people who are reading newspapers, and one of them is complaining that he went to a tavern the other night and he feels really gypped because he made best friends with this fox who was really nice, and he thought he was just like playing some card games and he was enjoying it the whole time, but then like the next day he realized he'd lost a ton of money somehow.
Oh.
And it was definitely related. So you get the name of this pub, which is called the Dying Duck, and it's not a very salubrious place. It's by the waterfront, and it has a bit of a reputation. But that's where your lead is. And are you going to tell your friends about this?
Yes, I relay this to the others. Gus, very panicking and often speak too quickly.
All right. I get the gag, but we should slow down a little bit. It's all right. You found out there's a pub that they're going to?
Yes. It's one they frequent, I believe.
All right, by the waterfront, the Dying Duck. I think I've been there before. I'm gonna roll a quick history just to see how familiar I am with it.
Very good idea. Love it.
Yeah.
Because why not? A 10 isn't great. I've probably been there once.
You've definitely heard of it. I'm not sure you've been there. It's more that you've heard of its reputation so that you have not been there. You've avoided this place because, like, if you know anything about this place, unless you're a very particular kind of person, you wouldn't go there. So, that works.
All right, it's sort of colored, but if this is where the lead is, this is where the lead is. Kuko, you coming?
Yeah, of course. If he has a reputation, well, it is better to stay safe there.
Okay, yeah, so you make your way over and you go towards the evening because that seems like a reasonable guess as to when it will be most occupied, and indeed it is. And have you done anything to your appearance? Because as stated before, this is a bit of a seedy pub, and you might almost be too respectable to go into this place as you're dressed. I'm looking at you, Grandmappa.
Come on! They've got the hideous jorts. That needs to bring down the class at least 12 degrees, okay?
Okay.
They're awful.
Do I need a shield to get in?
I'm actually gonna make you all roll stealth. I know it's not like really that. This is just to see how well you blend in as you enter this pub. Or not, as the case may be.
It's gonna be fine. I don't have any bonuses, but it's gonna be fine.
The dice know. The dice will reveal all. A 10. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this all works.
No.
You know what? This all works great. Okay, so Snailian got a 10, which totally fits because you already have given us that wonderful visual. So you get quite a few stares. On the other hand, people kind of don't want to mess with you because anyone who's got the guts to walk into this place wearing that...
Yeah, he's clearly unhinged.
pretty ballsy, I've got to say. Kanpukugu, you got a 17, which fits because Kuko is kind of a badass. Like, you're a rough and tumble rabbit. No one's gonna mess with you, and you fit right in. Highway rolled a 6, and this works with Buddy because you're wearing a cute little suit, and you look ever so dapper and nice, and you are immediately like you can feel people's eyes on you, like saying, "This is a mark. Like this is a guy that we should definitely try to con or beat up in the alleyway afterwards." Which may not be a good idea.
Buddy's just rubbing his arms, just trying to calm himself.
Aww. Yeah. So you get like a prickle of like people watching you as you come into this place, but you're all together. So fortunately, having Kuko with you is a good thing. And I think at this point you need to roll perception.
Okay.
We gotta roll. We can't just use passive perception after I've talked about how amazing my passive perception is.
I know, I'm really sorry, but in this case you are actually looking for someone, so...
You're so valid. I'm genuinely just joking.
I know, but I feel like I owe an explanation. Okay, an 11, 14... a 17. There you go. So you were worried that your perception wasn't going to do good, but it's fine. You're fine, Buddy. You're still very aware of like how much people are looking at you, so you're a bit too shy to get like a proper read on it. And Kuko, you're like, I don't know, like how would you respond to this atmosphere? What would your character feel like?
Since he's an underground fighter, then I don't think he minds really much being in shady places.
Mm-hmm.
So but he's not that tall, so if he doesn't see anything, it's because other people are covering him.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, with a 14 you're almost kind of like sizing people up next to you. Like you are looking for Honest Dom, but you're also kind of like actually checking out the competition, which is good because you actually realize how many people are in here. There's like 50 people in here. It's quite busy. However, Grandmapper, you're all business, and with a 17, your eyes sort of immediately are drawn to a corner table where there is a very dapper-looking fox who is having a riotous time next to this silent cat who looks just as ditzy as he did in the poster, and they have empty plates. They are halfway through a particularly luridly coloured flagon of liquid with frothing bubbles that's definitely not alcoholic. And there is a stack of poker chips next to them. They seem to be having a wonderful time, and they have no idea that you're there.
I think what Grandmappa is going to do is I think they're actually going to clap Buddy on the shoulder and like whisper, "Go over to the corner table and get one game of poker." And I think what they're going to do is they're going to like hold any roll they can make to try and do a helping roll for whatever Buddy needs, if they need to be snapped out of the moment because the badge works, or if they need to like pretend that they're buddy with the other guys. They're right now trying to let Buddy act as the clueless Mark and be ready to support them. Use Buddy as the bait while also being ready to support them as needed.
Okay, but Buddy, how do you react to this?
Yeah, Buddy looks at Grandmappa and says, "Why am I the bait?" All right. And he just sort of sadly shuffles over. He's not happy about this.
As soon as
he gives a weak thumbs up at Grandmappa before he continues on.
As soon as you enter, like, the radius of this sharp-eyed fox, he just clocks you, and there's something very carnivorous about the way that he smiles and waves you over, and he says, "Oh, hello! What a lovely evening! Oh, we were just saying, wouldn't it be nice if somebody joined us? Come over here! Come over here!"
Okay, yeah. You seem like some, respectful gentlemen.
"Oh, and we are that, aren't we, Diggian?" And he is elbowing Diggian in the side repeatedly, and so much that Diggian's hat has fallen off into his flagon of whatever liquid that is. Yes, he's very much invited you over, and you're at the table. How about, like, Kuko and Grandmappa, what are you doing in this time? Are you, like, staying near him? Are you sitting at the bar?
Yeah, I'm going to like faking like I'm all alone, but I'm staying near here if something gets out of hand, and well, it needs to like a second hand or a second punch in this case.
Good job.
Nice.
I think Grandmappa is like chatting up the crowd that you know when you're like in a place and like everybody's talking to everybody, so you're making just a little bit of small talk and then like moving on to the next person. And I'm willing to roll a persuasion roll if you want me to.
I was about to say, let's do this. Let's see how well you're doing.
4. We're just
Ooh!
sort of mapping out the crowd, and they've got this string of good luck because that's a 19.
It sure is. People absolutely respond to you, and I think it's because a lot of the people in here aren't actually as mean as they appear to be. As with many Toonkind villains and goons, there's a lot of people here who miss their grandma or grandpa, and look who's here, it's Grandmappa, and they are very happy to see you, and are like actually completely charmed by you, and are very happy to have a conversation. So that ploy works great.
So Grandmappa's just in the general area, like straightening up ties and telling somebody, yes, they're doing a good job, it's okay. Yes, I know. No, I know, honey, I get it. And just staying in the area and also keeping people happy.
Cool. I think just to bring you into it with the rolls, Kanpukugu, I want you to roll intimidation, because you're trying to stand out by yourself and be a hard ass, so I'd like to see how that's going.
You can do it, Kuko.
I believe in you.
Oh, Kuko. Guns out, guns out.
Wait.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh, what a shame. That's a 6.
Whoops.
Do you want to describe like why this is a 6?
Well, as intimidating and it can hear. This is a white rabbit with a bandage in one cheek, and it's not very tall, so yeah. Everyone thought you can just look down at him.
This buddy just trying to be tough, and everyone's just like,
Oh boy, yeah.
Let's say I'm almost tiptoeing to look a little bit taller.
That was great.
Oh, boy.
Fortunately, people are so distracted by Buddy, who's even more of a mark than you are, that they don't pay you too much attention. But anybody who does is kind of like, gosh, what is... Nah. And also, yeah, Grandmappa, you're providing quite a good distraction. Buddy, I think we have to go to you now. So you have sat down at this table with this pair of sharps, or one sharp and one blunt. What are you doing?
Buddy's just trying to just generally strike up conversation, making sure to keep them two very distracted.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to give an example?
yes. Well, yes, I'm new to town. I don't really know much. My parents left me a rather sizable fortune. Yes, and I'm actually related to the king, believe it or not. So I've got quite a sizable fortune, believe it or not. But it's just...
Honest Dom actually has to like...
spewing.
Honest Dom has to wipe some drool away from the corner of his mouth. He's like, actually, like, he can't believe his luck. He almost can't believe his luck. Fortunately, he's been having such a lovely day that he doesn't scrutinize this too deeply. I think he's just so happy that you're offering yourself to him on a plate, and my goodness, things have been going his way recently, because while he's grinning at you and rubbing his gloved hands, he definitely polishes this very shiny badge that he's got pinned to the front of his coat, and it is definitely Jeremy's badge. He's not even trying to hide it. He's just like, this is my shiny badge. Look at this shiny badge. It's so pretty. And he says, oh, well, what a tragedy leaving your parents having to leave you all that lovely money. But I say, what good is money without fun and friends? How about a game?
Oh, I do love games. Also, just...
A man of taste, a man of taste, did you hear that, Diggian? And Diggian nods. And I think at this point you're going to play a game. So, he brings out a deck of cards and shuffles them very expertly. You can imagine all the... as he's doing all the card tricks, up and down his sleeve, in and out of his coat, into the top hat, out of the top hat, and he has dealt the cards. And I think we need to roll for this because there is like a proficiency for playing cards, and he definitely has that. So I think this will just be a straight versus roll if you have proficiency in using a game card set.
I don't think I have that, no.
Oh dear. Because here's the good news, he's going to play straight with you to begin with.
Oh.
So you may just have to roll a d20 then if you don't have proficiency.
Okay. Just 1d20. Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear, Honest Dom didn't do very well on that roll.
Oh dear.
A 19. That's amazing. The gag is superb because, he's been setting you up to, like, take you down. And then you just get a royal flush, like, straight out. And his jaw hits the table. And he's like, you're a natural! I've never heard the like! And he's actually drawing a bit of a crowd because he's so staggered, but you almost feel like he may be doing that on purpose, which is a bit ominous. And another round, I say! I cannot commend this man's luck enough! So, shall we go again, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Make it a bit more interesting.
Oh, a wager! Did you hear that? And the crowd's going, woo, yeah! It's very exciting. How much are you going to put on the table?
Oh, I'll pull about, say, 100 million.
Grandmaster's eyes bulge out.
Yeah.
And
Did I hit
buddy.
And
Taking little no.
yeah, well, I have one thing in return. That lovely badge of yours. It looks so interesting, of course.
Oh my god. I gotta shoot over to Kuko real quick. Like, how are you responding to this?
I'm trying to find my computer, but after hearing that amount, I'm like, I'm almost shocked, and I'm not even drinking anything. Like,
Actually, there's like a Mexican wave around this pub of people spitting drink into each other's faces, and the whole pub has gone deathly quiet because no one has ever heard a wager like this. And they all turn to Honest Dom, who staggers for a second, and I think you can all roll an insight check.
Okay.
This is where it gets interesting.
big number scares the rabbit.
Just me being dumb again. Which one's it's insight? Wisdom or?
It's wisdom. I'm pretty sure it's wisdom. But
Okay,
you can get bonuses for it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't roll insight, can I help Buddy with another roll? Like, or would that just be a separate thing entirely?
I think that's a separate thing. Also, you've already stated that you're there to do that, so
Okay.
this is like free. This is like seeing how he's responding.
All right, thank you.
That is no problem. Okay, interesting. Buddy, you haven't got a clue. You're selling
I'm
this.
just
you're bluffing, and that's taking all of your concentration, I think. But Kuko and Grandmappa, you realize that, while he was initially, paralyzed with joy at the concept of getting, what did you say, 100 million?
Yep.
Holy cow. So initially it was that, and he's still frozen. It's like his animation's been paused. It's actually fourth wall breakingly shocking. However, when he realizes that you want the badge as the the payment on his behalf if he loses, he's very unwilling to do this. He is scared at the concept of losing this badge, to the point that he is considering not taking this wager. However, he is greedy, and he's very confident, and he has the badge, and he accepts and says, "This is the game of the century!" And the pub erupts in applause, and people are pulling up chairs. There are flags. Someone's selling bets, who's gonna win, in the background. It's all become this. This pub has become a fun fair immediately.
Yeah.
And yeah, he deals out the cards again, and at this point, I'm going to ask you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Yes, 1d20, okay.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. A d20, straight d20. What's it gonna do?
Yep.
Oh,
no!
Critical
fail!
fail!
Grandmappa, I need assistance.
Oh, that's superb. And I know, Snail, you said you were gonna help, but I think I've gotta take that.
No,
I mean,
it's a nat 1.
It's a nat 1. And actually, you could roll a wisdom save as well. Because Kuko already did. So for flavor, Grandmappa make one as well.
I sure will.
Because he's focusing this on Buddy, so it does make sense. And you all fail.
I want everyone to fail. I can't believe it.
Oh,
And the
no.
dice know, my goodness, they do know. They are sentient beings, I swear. Dice Passer, are you actually a real person listening in? If you are, you're doing a great job. Keep at it. So yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll for that card game versus, because you lose. You get 2, a 6, you get a joker. You get every bad card in the pack, and he gets 4 aces. And it's over in the blink of an eye, and the crowd is kind of disappointed, and at the same time now they're watching for a different reason. And Honest Dom rubs his hands and says, "Well, oh, what a shame, I'm so sorry, but the first rule of this game is quit while you're ahead, so I think I'm going to cash in my check, if you don't mind."
Yeah, Buddy. Yeah, before Buddy, when he finishes that, Buddy grabs his hand and says, "Oh, I am tired of being nice. I am tired of people looking down on me. And I'm tired."
Oh my god.
And he looks at John, Honest John, of liars. And Buddy is going to pull out his maul. "I know that badge doesn't belong to you, and I'm going to get it back. Oh, and don't struggle, because I'm not in a good mood."
Whoa! Awesome! Please roll intimidation.
Okay.
I mean, great delivery. On the other hand, you also have another situation, but we'll see how this one goes in first.
Okay. I think it's 1d. I get +1 actually. I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna tell you what that was in a second, and you're not gonna like it.
Oh,
Damn
it!
A 1 and a 2. Okay. So I just rolled a straight D20,
today.
folks who are listening, and I got a 1, which you would normally think was good news for Buddy. However, Buddy rolled a 2, and the people that I was rolling a 1 for was this entire pub. And I was making them do a collective wisdom saving throw, because as soon as this has started happening, Honest Dom has given you a beautiful, sort of innocent, shocked face. He's just so hurt that his new friend would do this. And that badge has, just flashed slightly ominously, and the whole pub stands up, and they are all armed to the teeth. And I think at this point we cut outside the pub, and you hear crash, bang, wallop, you see clouds coming out of the window. It's basically a dust cloud behind doors, and all three of you are jettisoned from the front door, and you all take, I'm gonna be nice, a d6 of damage. A full 6 of damage, though. Bludgeoning damage, piercing damage, whatever you want to call it. You were kicked out, and they will not let you back in because you affronted their very good friend, Honest Dom. So, you now have the information of where the badge is. You also now owe him, technically speaking, 100 million gold, which he will ask his friends to help him collect if you don't sort of do something. But, you know, you still have opportunities. So at this point, I'm going to let you guys discuss what you want to do. But if you need suggestions, I can make some for you.
Quick question: Can I make the damage bludgeoning? Because I have resistance to that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thanks to my spiffy coat.
You do, yes.
And you knocked the spiffy coat.
I would never knock it. I want one, honestly. So yeah, that went as badly as possibly could. On the other hand, it was hilarious. So I think you all should get an inspiration point because it was just great, the whole setup and the fallout.
All right.
That could have been better.
You sure that was a good idea?
Don't worry, I don't actually have that money. I'm not actually related to the king. Who wants to be related to that man? I mean, seriously. Have you even met the king? Even his own son doesn't like him.
Buddy, pal.
Hey, let's calm down. We need to retrieve that.
Buddy, it doesn't matter if you don't have the money. You said you did.
Yes, but I lied, didn't I?
Yes, you lied, but you also lost. So they're gonna be expecting the money that you don't have.
Yeah, I think you lied to the wrong people, you know?
Yeah, Buddy just takes a couple of minutes because somehow his usual shy nature has disappeared and he's just got this wave of self-confidence. And it just dawns on him. Oh no, I said I had 100 million. And you just sort of see him just hold his hands in his corner and silently just scream loudly.
All right. At that, Grandmappa's gonna like pat him on the back and go, "All right, we're gonna figure out a way to do this." So here's what we know about
Okay.
Mark. He can influence a whole bunch of people at once thanks to that badge. He loves betting to the point that he actually is willing to bet the badge. However, that probably won't work twice, so we sort of used up that choice. We also have to get Buddy out of this mess because he was trying to do it to get Jeremy's badge back. So Kuko, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm gonna worry about that. We're gonna try and figure this out.
However, as you're worrying, this is because Highway has to step out for a second. You're like outside the seedy pub, which is right next to a very dark alley, and you know, I think Grandmappa, you're talking to Kuko, and then you turn back to where Buddy was.
Well, and they turn back to Kuko and go, "Okay, I need you to look behind my back and see if he's still there and if he's just hiding from me, okay?"
Okay. I look behind his back, their back.
He is not there.
All right.
Okay, I think we have just another problem.
And Grandmappa is just like hands pressed in front of their face, thinking hard. They're just like, "All right, evidently we're going to solve this one problem at a time. Okay, Kuko, do you have any ideas of how we should reapproach this? Because likely getting them at the tavern is not going to work unless we use disguise self, which we could, but there could also be another way to approach this." What are you thinking?
Okay, Kuko being the not so brilliant rabbit he is, he just looks at his hand and clutches them into fist and look at them like nodding.
No. Grandmappa is shaking their head. No. That's 50 people against two now. We're gonna they gently push the paws back down, like stick their thumbs in the middle of the fist to like make them get out of fist. Like we're gonna think about other options. That's plan Z, okay? That's the plan we get to when everything else fails. We've got 25 more plans before that, okay? We're still considering it as a plan, okay? Okay.
Okay.
So part of the problem is he can influence people. So if we could find a way to lure him away from people, we wouldn't have the same problem we had in the tavern, right?
Yeah, so are you suggesting we meet him when he's all alone?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. Or with his cat friend if the cat friend never leaves his side, although that does raise concerns of what they do in the bathroom, but that's not any of my business, so it's not any of yours. Let's see, if we can lure him somewhere private, then we won't have the problem we have in the tavern. But what are we going to use to lure him? Because we've sort of lost using any of us as bait anymore, considering how Buddy handled the last game. And I think they moved to like sitting on a barrel. Yes, they're discussing this in front of the tavern. Don't question them. This is Toon logic. It's only the only way that Honest Dom could come out is if it's funny.
This is true.
So they're like sitting on a barrel outside the tavern, going, if we can lure them somewhere else, well.
I was planning in using his weakness to make bets, but I don't know if he's going to like beat the hook again. I don't know. I don't know. This rabbit is like punch everything and ask later, so he's like,
honey, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna figure this out. I think you're right that we were on the right track using his betting, but we weren't prepared for how he was going to go about it. I wonder if he's weak to all kinds of betting or just the kind that he can control. Because if we got him to bet on like horses, he couldn't necessarily control that. Although he could have somebody on the inside, and now Grandmappa is sort of just mumbling to himself about betting and gambling and how everything could go wrong. I think at least I'm stuck in a brain circle.
It's fine. Do you want to like use your inspiration point to have an idea?
Let me first ask Kanpukugu, do you have a different idea, or?
Yeah, but it's terrible.
Well, we still got plans A through Y, so I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to hear you out, buddy.
If this guy likes to bet, and we can make a bet to a little bit like controlled it, so I think we can get him. So what if we make him bet in a fight? The rabbit versus one of his mugs, and I'll try my best to win. Yeah. The silence. By the silence, I know it's a really bad idea. He's trying. Sorry.
Hang on. This is a thinking silence, not a judging silence. We'll put that at plan F. Let me think about it a little bit, because at this point he didn't just throw Buddy out. He threw all three of us out, so he would recognize you. if we used a disguise kit, he wouldn't necessarily recognize you. But the thing is, he's gonna want to bet on a sure thing. So maybe, and Grandmappa's like doing that dog thing where like they keep cocking their head and then like switching what side they're cocking their head on. Just like you can tell this being is thinking so hard, and they're like, maybe what we actually need to do, instead of making you win the game that he's gonna try to make you lose, is we need to set up a rigged ring where you win until he bets on you, and then you throw the fight. Does that make any sense?
I think I get it.
So we like, and Grandmappa starts like rubbing their hands, like thinking along this plot line of like, if we set up a fake illegal ring where we're pretending that it's legitimate, and they like point at the alley, like literally right in this alley, that would definitely draw on Storm's attention. And if we do that, and instead of paying people for betting, we pay people to pretend to fight, it would still look as if we were paying for betting. But
where do we get that money?
Than you gave yourself credit for. We just need to make sure to think this through.
Where will they get the money to get all those people?
That is a good question.
I don't want to interrupt here because, like, this is so legit, like, what you would be doing. Also, you know, like, you two are having this conversation, just accepting the fact that Buddy has disappeared. You're not at all interested in that.
We'll find him when we find him, okay? One problem at a time.
You don't think that this is inherently related to what just happened? I mean, I'm just saying.
He will return when he calms down.
In fact, what I'm going to do is roll. And, in fact, Grandmappa, your passive perception is 17, so you do hear something. You hear, a sort of scuffle and a small... And it was down the alley that was behind Buddy when he disappeared.
Okay, quick timeout for literally Snail the person, not Grandmappa the character. Is Highway back so we can investigate? Because I was sort of perpetuating this to give Highway time to come back.
Oh, bless your soul. No, I was going to introduce him to what's happened to him when he comes back.
Okay, so he's still gone?
He's still
gone.
gone.
We can investigate?
Yeah, you can investigate a mystery.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to continue along with this idea, both because, hang on, let me also be clear, this is a really good idea, and I definitely want to follow through if we can.
It is a fun idea.
Also, I was specifically avoiding investigating what happened to Highway because they weren't there within the game universe.
Oh,
and now now that I've completely shattered the fourth wall. Sorry, guys. Hey, it's me. We're all players in here. Now that I've shattered the fourth wall, I'm gonna duct tape it really quickly and say that Grandmappa is going to like sign at Kuko and then like sign at the alleyway and like show that like actually could I perhaps roll performance rather than investigation if I specifically say, well, why don't we look at this alleyway right now, see if it's perfect for our plan?
That's great. Oh, hello, have we got Highway back? I can see his... Oh no, he's just left it with the mic turned on. Never mind. I'm feeling generous. I can't really make an argument for it. On the other hand, I'm feeling lazy, so yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Oh, can I have a question too to follow the act?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, yeah, if you're both like doing it, then oh my goodness, a dirty 20 and a 10 is not so good, but a 20 is good.
Grandmappa's eyes are open. They see all.
Okay. Yeah, you do this sort of investigate a mystery skit, and the power of Toonkind compels you to sneak along the alleyway. And because, like, the alleyway is Toonkind too, it kind of gets in on the gag, and you can see these really obvious, like, almost like they've been stuck onto the floor footprints. like they're like cut out pieces of paper or something. And you can definitely see 2 drag marks, which were the heels of Buddy, and footprints that lead into the kitchen entrance that is in the pub that you were just in, but it's around the back.
Grandmappa is going to quickly pat the wall like, good job, buddy. We really got that gag this time. And then they're gonna like grab Cujo and like edge towards the door, again trying to still keep in the gag, but like they're now worried because kitchen could mean many things.
Could mean many things. You sneak along and go because you're still selling this gag. And I think I'm going to run off the previous rolls. So, Grandmappa, you're full in this on that 20. Kuko, with a 10, you're like, kind of like, how is this working? You start questioning how the universe is like helping you with this. So, you're breaking the fourth wall a little bit too much to get in on this continued gag. But you lean up against the kitchen door, and I want you to roll perception, I think.
Okay.
A 21 and an 11. That's really funny. They're like identical to your previous rolls.
How?
How? Anyway, it's still like the logic of the alleyway continues. Yeah. So, Grandmappa, you understand what's happening. You look in the bottom of this murky kitchen window. It's really grimy. It's like, that's definitely not health and safety approved. This place would not pass. It's a health security checkup. Definitely not. In fact, it's probably paid not to. It's that kind of establishment. Like, they expect this level. They need at least 10 cockroaches in that kitchen at all times, or it doesn't count as a seedy pub. That's how this works. Anyway, you sneak and listen and look, and you can see Buddy, who is completely unconscious. And you can see an argument going on between the back of Honest Dom, who's in the kitchen. Diggian is sitting on the kitchen table eating donuts, and then you realise they're not donuts. He's plucking the rings of smoke off the top of the soup as they rise up and eating those. And Honest Dom seems to be kind of exasperated with whoever he's talking to, who is apparently so small that the back of Honest Dom is like covering this person, so you don't know who it is. And he's saying, you did not have to. When I asked you to get him back, I wanted him to be compos mentis. If we're going to get the money out of this little squid, I don't believe that he has enough space in all the hammer spaces in Anquil to fit 100 million gold into his pockets. You must keep it somewhere else. We need him awake. You could have killed him, you fool. And you can't hear what the other person says. He appears to be muttering it. But at the moment, they're completely unaware of you, and Buddy is actually kind of not close to the kitchen door, but he's kind of aside from all of this.
I think one thing Grandmappa is going to do is, Cujo is short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Well, yeah, he is.
So they're just going to grab Cujo by the armpits and raise them just above the grease stains so that they can also get the lay of the land that Grandmappa currently has. Even with the poor roll, meaning that they're not as hidden, they still want to make sure they can see before they drop them back down.
Mm-hmm.
That may or may not have been a good idea, but if we're going to be getting our buddy out of here, then needs has its needs must. I think they're gonna squat down from the window and and like I think they're gonna play into the gag, so they're gonna look at the door and like stare at the door like no snitching, buddy. Um, and then they're gonna stage whisper, all right, they think they've got Buddy, and they think they've got him to rights. And we know they haven't got him to rights, but don't worry about that, because we'll worry about that later. We need to figure out who the third person is, and we also need to make sure that they don't skin and carve up and put into soup Buddy after they learn that he doesn't have the money because he was lying. Very bad thing to do, but he's still a living person, so we shouldn't leave him to die. What other angles can we approach this from?
I'm sorry. Remember what QQ did about like raising the punches?
It's just like solution to everything, punch it in the face.
Grimappa starts to push the hands out, and then like actually like gets a genuine light bulb just fully formed ding over the head, and then they like grab it so that it's not lighting up the window, and like they're holding the light bulb in their hand as they say, wait a second. I hope that's not a bad thing, because you just rolled something and I don't like that.
I did. It was in fact the passive perception for the people inside the room, which was a 7, so they don't know shit.
Okay, good. They're going to say, wait. Cujo, are you ready to get disguised kit and start setting up our back alley ring?
I guess. He doesn't have a disguise kit.
So Grandmappa leans in very close and says, here's the plan. We're going to get you dolled up so that you don't look like yourself. And then you're going to go in, cause as much of a ruckus as you can, and grab Buddy. And then the reason that our good old friend Honest Dom is going to start betting is because we're going to blackmail and say that whoever wins the tournament gets Buddy back. And obviously, Honest Dom is going to want that, because how else is he going to get his money?
Sounds reasonable.
All right. So I guess we're gonna disguise kit him up. Do we need to roll for that?
No, you've got proficiency in that. Also, I think I saw some audio activity on Highway's End. Is there anybody there? No. Never mind. It was probably just something in his house, which is spooky. It's haunted. Okay, Buddy is still 100% unconscious. So yeah, I'm gonna say you dress up, and the fun part of that is saying what looks like now. What do you look like?
This is all on you, Buddy.
If his normal attire is his boxing attire, which is like these pants, I guess he looks like dressed like a common person now.
Okay. Actually, I mean, yeah, that works, because Toonkind, all you have to do is put some googly eyes on them or a fake nose, and they look like a completely different person. You've never seen this rabbit before. So yeah, you just, like, change. Maybe you've got a false mustache or something.
One thing Grandmappa does is they tie up Cujo's ears in a very complicated warrior's knot. So instead of having the ears out, they're now all up and done. And obviously you can't recognize them now.
I like that.
All right. So Grandmappa continues to squat down, and then they finally grab Cujo's hands, put them into fists, and raise them back up, pats him on the shoulder, and says, I'm going to stand behind the corner so that they don't immediately assume I'm on this. Go get him, Buddy.
So it's my time to set up the fighting stage, right?
No. what you need to do is you need to go into the kitchen and as quickly as possible get Buddy out of the kitchen. See if you can spot the third person, but all that's important is grabbing Buddy and getting out of the kitchen. After that, we'll set everything else up.
Are you
Okay.
serious? Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, I think
This-
I mean, yeah, Kucho, you're very fast. You also don't have to do this if you don't want to. But if you do, I'm gonna make you roll dex, and you better do it good, son.
It's just pure dexterity, right?
I think so. I think this can just have to be a straight dex. You are taking them by surprise, and my goodness, this is not anything anybody would expect, including me.
Yeah, we like.
Question, Kujo, what kind of Toonkind are you?
He's a warner.
Ooh,
Can you cast Expeditious Retreat?
3 times a day.
Okay, he can cast a Expeditious Retreat. He's a monk. He has a lot of movement, and he can dash a bonus action, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
He can go fast too.
you gotta go fast. I would advise you to use that rather than roll dex. Do you want to do that?
Okay, so Expeditious Retreat, dash, and so that will mean like 160 feet per turn, I believe.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, yeah, and in fact, I think the kitchen door and this alleyway are just like, we want to see what happens. So the kitchen door like has unlocked itself because it just is like, I want to see this, and you, and Honest Dom looks at the chair where Buddy was and is like, did you? What? We've been robbed. I mean, we've kidnapped somebody, but somebody stole him. So you have a couple of seconds.
And I am back.
You are back. Oh, Highway, what you have missed. What you have missed. Actually, in
What's
fact,
happened?
you know what? It's been an hour 10. I know I said we'd have a break at an hour and a half, but let's have a break here. You guys can catch Highway up. I'm going to go and wash my face because I've been sweating bullets trying to improv this entire thing. So we'll resume in like 5 minutes. Enjoy. Thank you for coming back, Highway. Well done.
No problem.
Okay, so when you left, we were all like in front of the tavern. When you
Yeah.
left, you were knocked out and kidnapped by Honest Dom and Diggory the cat and some third person. We still
Okay.
don't know who the third person is, sadly. But
It's got to be that
while
hedgehog, I can tell.
while we were waiting for you to come around, we started getting an idea that like grew and grew and grew. So you don't have to go along with this if you've got a different idea, but our idea was that we would set up a fake fight club in the alleyway next to the tavern. And what would happen was we would make Cujo in a disguise kit win over and over and over until Honest Dom bet on him because he was a sure thing. And then Cujo would throw the match, thereby losing.
Right.
After that, we discovered that you were kidnapped by the three. And what happened was we just set up Cujo in their fighting attire, which is disguised. And he just swooped into the kitchen where you were unconscious while the three were like arguing because they didn't actually want you to be unconscious. They were trying to get the money out of you. He swooped in and swooped out. And what we're planning on doing is we're planning on now using you as blackmail. We're sort of like planning on like the grand prize is the person who like wins gets you.
Oh, right.
And like your money. So obviously Honest Dom is eventually going to want to bet on this because he's gonna want your money back.
Yeah. I love it.
So things are going great. Typical Toonkind session.
I've just come back. Did you just catch him up on the entire situation?
I think so.
Well done. Thank you for doing
I
that.
love it.
Okay, I've had a break, but like, if any of you guys need to leave the computer for a second, because we're all humans, not actually Toonkind, which is unfortunate, please feel free to do so. Thank you, Snail, for doing that.
Give me just a couple seconds now that I've caught Highway up. I'll be back.
That's
When
fine.
my mic pops back up, I'm back.
Same to you too, because Kanpukugu and Highway, I know like you probably are okay. I don't know. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah. Oh boy, that was oh. So once again, Buddy is used as blackmail.
To be fair, you kind of did this to yourself, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what happens when Buddy gets self-confident.
Oh my god, I was not expecting that. Because Buddy's just like this sweet, shy little lamb.
Hidden lamb, hidden badass. Like a wolf in lamb's clothing.
Oh, bless. Oh, dear. And at exactly the wrong time for it to come out. Brilliant.
I know.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, I have just been running myself in a circle, like, trying to make things up as we go, but it's all working, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, we still got a good couple of hours, haven't we? I haven't missed that much, have I?
Oh, no, you're fine. In fact, it was great, because, Buddy was unconscious the entire time, and now that you've been rescued, you're probably coming to, so that's great.
Yeah. I'm just imagining, because Grandma actually is wearing Buddy like a boa, because he's just, if you've seen Spinel, he's just like a ragdoll.
Yeah. Limbs just like flop.
Yeah, it's just like spaghetti. Like...
Good times. I have no idea like how to resume this. I think I'm gonna have to let Grandmappa take the reins because apparently they have already.
When the players actually take over the campaign.
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping that would happen because this was fairly loosely structured, at least for the beginning. But I'm now like, I might check out the end because this is going places.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that eventually.
For
I am hoping you get the
badge
actually back. Yeah. Oh, we'll be fine.
Does Honest Don have a hat by any chance?
Oh yeah, he's got a silk stovepipe hat.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a nice looking hat. You might want it. I mean, it's a little bit crooked, but in that dapper sort of way, it works for him.
Yeah. But he was also eyeing that out at hat. So I want that hat.
We all want a top hat. It is on my bucket list is to have a proper silk top hat in my life. I would love that.
I actually do.
You do?
In fact, sad thing is I have many. I've got like 2.
Get out! I'm envious. That's wonderful. Good for you.
Yes.
Live your best life.
I know. I love top hats.
I've got a really good cowboy hat, so, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, for those listening, no, I got that hat a long time before the engineer was ever a thing, so...
I have yet to play a hat in time. I need to play it.
It's lovely. It's just a bundle of joy, I swear. It just makes you feel good inside.
I was wondering which characters, which characters are people going to obsess over? Is it going to be Hat Girl? Is it going to be... I know the Nightmare guy was definitely going to get...
Oh, Snatcher, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves all of the characters.
I did not expect the Conductor and the Penguin to get so much attention.
Really? I was just like immediately sold. I was just like, rival Grandpa Bird directors? Are you kidding? This is just my jam.
So just a thing. Is that the Conductor the same one in Hat in Time as in the Toonkind one, or is it a different one?
Oh, it's very much. I mean, the engineer is straight up a homage to the Conductor. And, people listening to this, just to confirm, absolutely 100% he's a bootleg Conductor. It's so obvious. But, yeah, he's very much become his own character, the engineer, but 100%, yeah. That's definitely it. Okay. Yeah. I'm now, trying to figure out what I need in preparation for this game.
Yeah, I'm going to start getting back into Toonkind D&D games.
Yay!
So,
well, there is
a character.
Sorry. No, it's alright. It's just that there is a playlist which I can link you to if you need that. And there's a couple of games which I would recommend you listen to catch up on, specifically the Taffy Train related games, because there's a lot of plots in those which a lot of people have taken to, which is lovely. I didn't expect it to kick off so much.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've got two characters I want to try out. I've got Spindle Shanks. He's my scarecrow barbarian. But the thing is, I'm gonna revamp him because I'm thinking he's had an accident with a harvester.
Oh no!
And now he's looking as your more traditional scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause he was your traditional scarecrow, like a burlap sack. But he had legs. One was a pitchfork, one was a spike.
Oh.
But now he's more pumpkin-esque. See, a lot of his body, because the only thing that survived is his hat, his chest, and a leg.
Oh.
And what Spindleshank is, he's a Toonkind, but he's more of a manifestation of fears. He's sort of like a boogeyman.
Oh,
if
cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a good premise. Also, I'm just checking. Snail, are you back? I can hear some
Yes,
sort of
I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh no, that's
right,
fine. Because we can resume. But I do love the concept for your other character, which you have told me about. But we should probably get back to the game. Kanpukugu, are we good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I don't know what to do. I think, Grandmappa, we should leave it to you, considering they've taken control of this show. So on you go.
I just realized as I was like, during the break, I was like, wait, wasn't the plan to avoid drawing a crowd? And this new plan entirely hinges upon everybody crowding around?
Yeah, I was...
Wait, Toons, it doesn't have to make sense. It just have to... It just needs to work.
Mm-hmm. It's Toonkind. As long as it's funny, it works.
Yep.
So, we've already got Cujo all dressed up. And I think we specifically need to not dress up Buddy, because Buddy has to be recognizable for the blackmail grand prize idea to work. So I think Grandmappa is gonna whip out the disguise kit, literally just put circus announcer's handlebar mustache on themselves. And before we do anything, we sort of have to figure out how we're gonna make it so that the other people are gonna be willing to lose.
Ooh.
Because we're not actually eventually real bets are gonna be coming in, but we're not actually trying to set up an actual fight club. We're trying to set up an acting fight club.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't answer how you're gonna make sure you win, but you can just go with it and see if you do. You may just have to be honest about this, because I'm gonna tell you in this slow motion discussion that you're having, things are happening and they're gonna happen very quickly. So you've got to set up this show and get it to happen.
All right, Cujo, how sure are you that you could take on a bunch of random people? Because the final fight isn't actually going to be the one that matters. That's the one that you don't that's the one that you throw. We just need to make sure that we can get you to the point where he'll bet on you. Can you take it?
This is what I do to survive. So yeah, I think I. I think I can, but that person is kind of angry these days. So I won't promise anything.
All right. Grandmappa is actually going to pull out some snacks. Actually, 9.
Ooh.
Exactly. And they're going to put them in Cujo's hands, all 9. And they're going to say, if the fight starts to get dicey, these heal, and they say whatever in-universe equivalent is to 1d4 of damage. Just snack throughout the fight if you have to, and we'll continue using health potions on you after fights. They're not going to expect you to heal during the fight, and it's gonna look like you're just having a snack.
Okay.
Yep, I'll allow it. That sounds legit. I will now ask you to like stage your fake fight though, because I think enough time has passed, and even though you've expeditiously retreated on one character, the other two of you, or at least like Grandmappa, you're not doing that, are you?
Yeah, they're not expeditious retreat. They're staying right in that alleyway.
Okay. So yeah, you need to move on this right now.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna like grab a broom and then they're gonna like really quickly use some rope and like stick Buddy on the rope and then stick the rope in the ground. This is not supposed to be a legitimate fight club. This is supposed to be a spur of the moment there and gone thing. But they're also gonna like try and make sure that like Buddy's feet are supported, and they're like, "You okay, Buddy? You feeling safe? You're gonna have to pretend that you don't feel great, but are you like awake? Is it like are any of the ropes hurting?"
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm fine. It's just I've got a bit of a sore head. That's all. How long was I out?
All right. And I guess we're just gonna have to see how nice the dice are gonna be, because I don't know what to do if this is gonna go bad. But Grandmappa then steps out and says, "Come one, come all, fight the unbeatable chunk. This rabbit has never, ever been defeated. Do you think you can beat them? Do you? Do you? Remember, folks, at the end of this night, whoever wins, whoever loses, it's all up in the cards. But if you shall bet on the proper person who wins, eventually, once the clock strikes 12, whoever has bet the most, bet the greatest, and succeeded, will get back the wonderful Buddy!" And like they
languish.
But Buddy looks suitably pathetic, please.
Yeah, languish. Oh, what am I gonna do with all this money I got? Please don't take the money that the king gave my family. Oh, please.
Oh god, it was so good. I am not gonna make you roll performance because you did it. I don't care. I think you both rolled a nat 20 as far as I'm concerned. That was really funny. And I think the whole pub like comically leans out of all the windows on this side, and then all those windows shut, and then there's this and all this crowd has surrounded the alley, and it's just immediately become like a football atmosphere, this stadium that you have immediately made. And Honest Dom, who has just bumbled out of the kitchen door, along with Diggian, and somebody who is again lurking inside just out of reach, oh it's so frustrating, who could it be, is completely dumbfounded because he can't lay claim to what is rightfully his as far as he's concerned, in terms of Buddy stuck on a pole, because everyone is immediately starting to take bets and looking forward to the fight. So
Grandmappa is gonna like, I probably will have to roll perception or something. They're gonna like point at the crowd and they're gonna say, "You step up, come and fight the unbeatable chunk."
And you hear, "Oh, me?" and boom, boom, boom. This very large-looking gorilla steps out and takes off a very tiny bowler hat and holds it in front of his chest and sort of shyly points at his face.
Grandmappa, I think, is gonna glance really quickly at Cujo. Does Cujo nod or does Cujo shake his head?
You know what? I have face bursting in the pit. I just give a thumbs up.
I will take your hat, good sir, so that it doesn't get ruined in the scuffle. Although I am afraid it is a scuffle you will lose!
Somehow there are air horns everywhere. Yeah.
And they very delicately take the hat. The hat will absolutely be returned to this person upon the end of the fight, which they will lose. I am so crossing my fingers!
Okay. this gorilla sort of shrugs and then, after looking very meek, rips his shirt sleeves off and beats his chest, and he is enormous, and you are going to have to fight him. So this is going to be very easy to roll initiative, because there's only 2 of us, but please roll initiative.
Buddy's just like on the stick saying, "Oh, we are doomed."
Well, I will say this, while Kukcho is doing his cool stuff and, actually partaking in the fight, you two, on your turns, as it were, if you want to roll initiative, you can, do rolls, you can cast magic, as long as you're not interrupting with the fight, I would say. Or if you're going to do that, you're going to have to be very stealthy about it. But, you can still do perception things. There's a lot at stake here, literally, at stake, buddy. The stick, is a joke.
Yeah. Buddy's on a stick, yeah.
Okay, we got that. Ooh, very nice initiative of 18 there from Kucho. So we know who's going first. And the monkey man did not do so well. You're the player, so you get to go first. I think then it's going to be Grandmapper and then the monkey man.
Highway, do you want to also roll so that you can perceive stuff?
Oh yeah, sure. So is it just initiative or?
Yeah, just initiative.
Okay, 1d20.
It's just so you have an active place in turn, and I don't have to keep checking in. 12. Okay, so you go before Monkey Man and Grandmapper. So it's Kuko, then Buddy, who won't be able to do very much in terms of movement. But you're in there. Your movement is 0 right now. Okay. Thank you very much.
Track of this stuff just to be helpful.
Yeah, that's very helpful indeed. Thank you very much. What a good mod you are, even though I'm called Mod. Thank you. Okay, and okay, first in the order, it's our Rabbit Bonanza Man. Have a go.
Okay, so it was true. I have I have faced big things in the pit. It doesn't mean I'm less nervous, but here we go. Okay, we go with the punch him as always. Woo!
I was gonna say, I hope you're gonna punch him because you've been building up to that.
Okay, so I have 2 attacks. I'm gonna start like use the test him. I'm not gonna waste the key right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't know what this guy's made out of. He might be a pushover. Woo, a 20! Yeah, you definitely hit.
And then extra attack.
Okay, you dodge to the left, you dodge to the right, and you get him straight in the middle of the face for 5 hit points of damage. And this gorilla looks quite surprised because you're quite a lot smaller than him.
The second was another hit, and it didn't hit.
Oh, the second one was a hit. Ah, bother. No, that definitely doesn't hit. A 5 doesn't hit. But the first one does.
Okay, so I'm going where?
You've got a swing and a miss. 7. Okay. In fact, that hurts more. So you do what I said, but I was wrong, but now I'm right. So you hit him in the face for 7 damage, and this gorilla looks fairly unhappy about this because he's quite big and you're small, and that shouldn't have hurt. And you can see his brain trying to figure out how this could possibly have happened. How did his life go so wrong? And the crowd is cheering crazy. Just this is immediately a hit. You've got a really good setup here. Buddy, it is now your go. What on earth are you going to do?
Is there any people near Buddy by any chance?
Oh yeah, the place is swarming.
Okay. I'm gonna take advantage of Buddy's clon nature. Is Buddy tied to the post, or is he just hanging off it?
Snail?
So, is he tied up to the post, or is he hanging off the post? Was that the question?
Yeah, that was the question.
Well, Grandmappa and Buddy were actually talking, so which one do you think makes more sense?
I think it's hanging off it.
Okay.
I think because what's Buddy's going to do? He's going to take advantage of his clon nature. He's actually going to stretch his arms and he's gonna try to start a fight in the with the crowd.
Really? What, like you're gonna try and trick two people into thinking like one's shoved the other and they're going to start fighting each other?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what to roll for this. I think deception.
Okay, so deception. Okay, so what's that?
You're a wild, by the way. This is crazy.
Deception. Oh, that's -1. Oh,
Get a
boy.
badge away from somebody. What do you mean you set up an illegal fight club for no reason?
Oh my god. Also, I've just had to make up the stats for this gorilla on the spot, so I hope you're all grateful. A 5. Deception does not work. In fact, you kind of like get slapped on the hand. Like they're like annoyed that you're trying to distract them from the fight. Stop spoiling it. That's all that happens, though. You don't get in trouble for it. Grandmappa,
okay.
it's now your turn.
I think in this moment, Grandmappa is gonna spend all of their focus trying to perceive who is the third player, because they remember the other player in the last time they encountered this gang, and they want to see, is this the same person, is this a different person? They're specifically, would it be investigation or perception if they're specifically looking for the one person?
I'll let you choose whichever you have a better roll for.
All right, that's perception.
I would have said that anyway.
11.
11! You try, but the problem is your ploy has gone too well. There's too many people in the way. You cannot see who it is. And they're certainly not making life easy for you because they are definitely hanging at the back. And that's going to be your turn, I'm afraid. Because now it is Monkey Kong or something. A pun on that name that I can't come up with on the spot. However, you upset this very nice big gorilla who has a tiny bowler hat. And he is going to try and hit you in the face in return. And that does not succeed. This very big, sluggish, meaty fist comes sailing towards you. And Kujo, you just like effortlessly lean out of the way. We go into slow motion like Rocky. And you see his face sort of contort with disappointment as he sails past. And his fist plants itself into the ground where you were a second ago. And time resumes. And it is now your turn again.
My turn, right?
Yep.
Well, here we go again. I'm gonna press forward. Ooh.
Yeah. We do need some epic sort of boxing movie music right here. Thank you, Highway. 21 hits. And a 20 hits! Definitely a double success there. Very nice. Please roll as much damage as you like. Well, not as much as you like, but as much as you're allowed to. Oh, wow! Holy cow! I mean...
Monks, man.
Yeah! Do you want to describe?
Yeah, it will be a punch to push it back and an axe kick. Ouch. Don't do that.
Again...
Directly,
sorry.
since he's close.
Yeah, again, time slow to stand, but only when the impact is made. And you see the jaw go, and the tooth goes flying, and the crowd kind of goes, and then kaboom, boom, boom. And this gorilla hits the dirt and is KO'd. Bing, bing, bing. You have won the first game, and the crowd goes bananas. This is huge.
Even bananas are being thrown.
Yeah.
Random person throwing bananas.
Money is being handed out to people who've lost and won, and I think Grandmappa, you're like kind of acting as a bookie. I want you to roll like a straight D20 to see how much of a profit you just made. 15, not bad. I'm gonna say you made 15 gold.
And now we can continue using that. Grandmappa is gonna stand back up and says, "Unbeatable! I gave you a promise, folks, and I repeat that promise. Who else wants to stand up? He is the unbeatable Chunk, and he will not be defeated today."
You have a sea of volunteers bouncing up and down with their hands, and some of them look really rough, and some of them look comically small. I would ask you to, I mean, just like pick a hand, I guess. Pick a color. That'll give me something to work off to invent a character.
I'll pick a nice deep blue hand.
Okay, you pick a blue hand, and this creature oozes out from behind it, and it is a lizard folk. It is a lizard folk creature. It's blue, kind of like a gecko. It's got a bright orange tongue, and this guy looks. Well, actually, this lady looks a little bit more sneaky, and she sort of winds her way into the circle and cracks her knuckles and whips her tail around in a sort of menacing way, looking forward to this encounter.
Grandmappa very quickly manages to lift the gorilla up and out of the ring purely because it's a gag.
Yeah.
And then place the hat very gently on their head. They made a promise. And they come up to the lizard folk and say, "Madame, do you wish to have anything you wish not to be destroyed to be handed off to me? I promise it will be safe. I have never once lost anything, as you can see by," and they put their hand back and show the fact that the hat has been returned.
To the unconscious gorilla.
It's been returned. They didn't lose it. And they wait to see if anything needs to be passed off.
The lizard folk lady just blinks at you, and it's that vertical eye slit blink. It's very unnerving. And she just gives you a sly smile and shakes her head silently. She doesn't even say anything. I'm running out of battery. Oh shit, hang on, let me plug in my computer before it dies. Ah! Oh god, that was really close. Okay, I'm fine. My bad. But yeah, while all this is happening, I'm going to say we're going to keep this initiative order, otherwise it's going to be really tedious having to re-roll it every time. So it is in fact...
Don't worry, I'll keep renaming it.
Thank you. So I think it's actually Buddy's turn. So, Buddy, what do you do whilst everybody is distracted by this?
Buddy is going to try that again to start a fight. Well, get people to start a fight again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, deception again, I believe.
1d10 minus 1. Please let it work. I want this to work.
It would be nice. More chaos. A 4.
No.
Again, the gag repeats. You reach out a noodly rubbery hand and you just get swatted back. Like, people are just not buying this. They are too invested in the game and they want to see it. Grandmappa... Yeah, that was fine. I'm sorry, buddy. Grandmappa, you've kind of basically done your turn with setting up this fight, but is there anything you want to do right now?
I think Grandmappa is going to use a cantrip called Druidcraft.
Ooh.
And they're going to cast the slight odor of skunk at the very edge of the crowd. Perhaps, just where the kitchen door is, trying to encourage people who might be sticking outside, like, say, a certain person they're trying to perceive, just a little bit closer, because it's just a little bit of skunk odor. It's just, ugh.
It's a little bit nasty. I'm gonna make this unseen person make a Constitution save, I guess. See if he can withstand the smell of skunk. 2. No, he hates it.
It's a 5-foot cube.
Yeah. Nah, he does not like that. And in fact, he's not too bothered about you knowing that he's there now. In fact, he steps out of the shadows to loiter on the edge of this fighting circle, and he definitely purposefully makes eye contact with you, Grandmappa, and it's exactly who you thought it was. This is Shade, the Hedgehog.
Oh.
And he is the one that these 3 did not manage to get the badge back off at the end of their first game, which I was a bit surprised by, and he disappeared with it, so that's how this entire situation ended up having to happen. So yeah, he's there, just kind of flipping a coin up and down, leaning on someone else because he's arrogant like that, and he's just watching the fun now.
Mappa makes eye contact back and winks.
Okay, he kind of likes the cocky attitude and gives you a respecting nod. However, it is now the lizard lady's turn, and she is immediately going to try and whip your feet from underneath you. And a 16, does that beat your AC? It does! It does beat your AC. You are whipped, and your feet go whoop from underneath you, and I'm going to say that you are prone. But that's your status ailment. That's her turn. And it is now your turn, Kucho.
Ow. Okay, so I believe it's half my movement to stand up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, with no problem. I cut back and once again I kick them.
Okay. Let's see if it hits. Because I will say her AC is a little bit better than the last guy. Oh, 21. Not that good. Yeah, you definitely kick her. A 16 doesn't do it, though. Her AC is 16. Oh, wait, no. If you meet it, you do still hit, don't you?
And since she already make me, since she already seems capable enough, I'm gonna already use a key point to make a flurry of blow. So here we go. Another two strikes.
Okay, yeah, go. Okay, that one doesn't hit. Yeah, but you got 3. Yeah.
That's impressive, bud.
Yeah. Gosh, this lady is probably going to go out in one round. Oh dear. A 20.
Ouch.
Okay, you want to describe how badly you decimate this lizard lady?
So I get back in a jump, and I use the same jump to land a kick on her. And since he's crushing another 2 kicks, and bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye is right. You kick her through the window of the pub, and there is this sort of stunned silence, and then more cheers. I mean, people are kind of disappointed that one didn't last as long, because they thought she was going to do something really cool in the next turn, which she probably was going to. But yeah, that's completely over very quickly. However, you know immediately who your next opponent is going to be, because Shade just saunters into the middle of the ring. He doesn't wait for you to find somebody. He's volunteering, and he just stands there with his arms crossed and taps a foot.
Grand Mappa grins and says, well, who will we have to bet upon this shadow of a hedgehog?
Oh.
Can he beat the unbeatable Chunk? And Grandmappa points out at everybody in the circle, but of course lingers for just a second on Honest Dom and says, I don't think so. Do you?
Buddy just actually just shouts, "He looks like a faker to me."
There's a sort of small riot as a huge argument breaks out between people, and the bookies who have just appeared out of nowhere, because they do, while people are raging to and fro as to the odds, because Kucho, you've been kicking butt, so a lot of people fancy you. On the other hand, you kind of feel like some people recognize this hedgehog and this hedgehog, and are yeah, there's a bit of a rumor about this guy, and people aren't too willing to bet against him. So it's very much 50-50. No one's really sure how this one is going to go. I think Grandmappa and Buddy, I think you would probably be best placed to make an insight roll. And this is for Honest Dom. Again.
Okay. Insight. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, +2.
Okay, that's interesting. Buddy, you're you're tied up. Like, people are jumping. It's really hard for you to see, let alone, like, get a read on this guy. Grand Mapper, I'm going to say 16 is good enough because he's completely unguarded right now for the same reason, because this crowd is all around him. He's not, like, trying to disguise how he's feeling. The whole premise that you have set up is, you know, centered on the fact that you were going to throw the last fight. You realize that Honest Dom doesn't know who to bet on. He doesn't know which person he wants to win. And again, like, you get this sense that he's kind of afraid of Shade. Also, Shade kind of botched what he'd asked him to do and, like, knocked out Buddy instead. He doesn't like Shade at all.
I think Grand Mappa is going to continue amping up the crowd, saying, "The chunk took down this massive gorilla and the most graceful lizard folk you'd ever seen. Do you truly think that they can be defeated by this puny hedgehog, no matter how well known they are?" And I'm gonna roll performance to see how effective that is.
Yeah.
And I'm also gonna cross my fingers just for safety.
Yeah. Also, do remember you all have an inspiration point because I'm just nice like that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, a 23 though, you don't need to use it. The crowd just falls for it, and immediately the odds swing around, and most people, like, in fact, I'm pretty sure for a 23, everybody is betting on Cucho. So, yeah, then Honest Dom is kind of like, just kind of sat there, like, he's like biting on the edge of his gloves. He's like actually bitten through the gloves. He's kind of got fingerless gloves now. He's really anxious about this. Shade doesn't look anxious at all. He just looks kind of bored. He's waiting for things to happen.
Is that all the bets? Is everyone willing to see the chunk decimate this hedgehog? Any remaining bets? Oh, Honest Dom. Everybody loves Honest Dom. And now, Grand Mappa is using his popularity against him as they, like, swindle up and, like, cuddle up to him and say, "Come on, Honest Dom, you haven't made a bet yet. We're not gonna bet you money. Everybody knows not to bet money against Honest Dom." But listen, buddy, just to make things fun, obviously you want your old buddy who owes you money back. Why don't you just bet, I don't know, the badge? Come on, buddy. It's not that important. It's just so shiny. Come on. One badge versus a hedgehog. Come on.
Okay.
There's no way he's gonna win, pal.
I think I'm going to ride off that 23 because it's so much easier. And especially because, yeah, the crowd that has befriended him, or he's befriended, whether they wanted him to or not, are very much cajoling him and ribbing him, and he's got a reputation. He's also been doing this thing with the badge for, like, a while now, so he's got really confident about it. And he shrugs and says, "Oh, what say you, Digian?" And Digian shrugs and nods, and yeah, he is totally going to bet the badge. Well done, you managed to do it.
All right. I think it's Kuko's turn?
I'm gonna say yes, because I've completely lost track, but it makes sense.
Okay, so this hedgehog just entered the stage.
Yes.
Yeah. So he looks at him and says, "I have been waiting for this, and I'm going to." And he's going to, like, start punching.
Okay.
See, since this is the one I'm supposed to lose, sadly.
But you can still get some hits in if you wanna. I mean, like, I'm not gonna tell you what his stats are,
Yeah,
but he's pretty meaty.
I'm gonna roll with this disadvantage.
Oh.
I'm not really trying to hit him.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, 16 isn't going to do it anyway. 12 isn't going to do it. Yeah, you missed twice, and the crowd kind of goes boo.
I'm just testing him. I'm just analyzing.
Actually, Actually, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I think you need to either roll performance or deception, because you need to sell this act.
It's gonna be performance.
Okay. An 8.
Ow!
I mean, do you want to use your inspiration, or you want to stick with the 8? I mean...
Yeah, let me use inspiration.
Yeah.
These were rolling.
Yeah, that was a good idea, because an 8 could have really turned the crowd against you there. But they completely fall for the act, and they're very sort of, like, invested, and they just think that Shade is so good that he dodged out the way, which he did. He did lean to make sure that you didn't hit him, but wow, you definitely did not hit him. And yeah, is that the end of your go? Yeah, that's the end of your go. What was the 12 for? Sorry?
Nothing. He goes.
Yeah, okay. Buddy, you now have this situation. What are you going to do? Are you going to try and rile up the crowd again, or...?
Well, yeah, but he's actually going to try and scare the crowd, actually, because since Buddy has silent image, I remember from last game, and that worked. So what's Buddy's going to do? He's going to create the image of a large 8-foot scarecrow, a large pumpkin head with a large wide brim, you know, like those classical scarecrow hats.
Oh yes, very much so.
Covered in vines, like barely patchworked all together. He's gonna summon it, like slowly emerge from the crowd, looming up.
Okay.
And Buddy's just gonna scream, "It's Spindle Shanks the Scarecrow!"
And a cameo appearance.
Yes.
I think this is again either deception or performance.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check my performance.
I mean, I know it's a spell that you cast, but this is like how well it affects the crowd, who are very invested in this fight. It's going to take quite a lot to get them to run away because they want to see this and they bet money.
I've got to go with deception. So that is. I think it's just a D20, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry, -1. My bad.
17. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm going to say like 3/4 of this audience are so craven and cowardly, which, you know, given the stock of your average seedy pub is to be expected. 3/4 of the people just scream and run away because what the hell is that? Never mind, I'll get my money back another day. And they bolt, but you still have like 1/4 of this crowd left. I can't figure out what 1/4 of 50 is, whatever the hell that is. So you've managed to get rid of a lot of people. And Honest Dom is very confused, like, what? This evening did not go how he expected it to. Grandmappa, are you going to do anything?
Grandmappa is going to do something. Grandmappa is going to sidle up to the bookies, and they're going to, from the gate, use their inspiration point to work out the map and work out, like, which people left and all this stuff to try and square away the map so that absolutely everything is covered by the previous bets that were lost, except for the price of good old Buddy and the badge, and have that go to whoever wins.
Okay.
No, wait.
Yeah. No, I understand. That figures, and also some of these bookies look really eager to have an excuse to get out of here because they didn't they're not supposed to get involved in the fight, and there's a big scary scarecrow, what the hell? And you used inspiration. So they are totally game with that. And yeah, you settled the accounts, basically. Very good. Next, it is the person you're squaring off against. Yeah, and you rolled well enough with your performance because you used inspiration, so he's not going to make an intelligence check to see if he's smart enough to figure out what the hell you guys are doing. But I'm going to tell you something. This guy is very fast, so he has 2 attacks per round. The first one is going to be this. 15, does that hit you? Yeah, it meets your AC, so it does hit you, and he's going to do another one of those. A 5. Okay, the first one does hit, but the second you manage to sort of like you've been hit by it before, and boy were you hit by it, because this is a homing attack. He sort of curls up in a ball and spins on the spot for a second and goes bong, and it hits you in the face, and you make a really funny noise. It's like you hit a bumper or something. It's very peculiar, and you take. I'm afraid it's quite painful. It's D10 plus 2. You take 10. You take 10 damage, friend.
Ouch!
Yeah, you're immediately down to 15 hit points, I think.
Ooh.
I mean, dude, he was supposed to be a boss against the three of you. What can I say? Anyway, yeah, so you have taken that amount of damage, and he lands back on his feet, and he's like, I told you should have quit while you were ahead last time.
Oh, punch him in the face.
Wait, he recognizes me?
Okay, yep, you have this cocky hedgehog who just hit you good. What are you gonna do to him?
Oh, since it looks like, it kind of looks like I don't need to like hold on, so this one goes full out.
Yep, good. We still want to see him get some pain. Oh, a 19. Yeah, that'll do. 13, no, that's not gonna hit. Okay, yeah, you hit him for 5. You want to describe this hit, which I'm afraid doesn't really look like it does too much to him.
Yeah, I want to say about what he told me the last time we meet, but it's gonna blow up the whole cover. So yeah, I'm just going to like go strongly and kick him.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have said that line, because yeah, he doesn't know who you are. Whoops, my bad. Just pretend he said something else cool. I can't do edgelord lines. I really shouldn't have written this character.
You're too slow.
I'm just imagining. Yeah, honestly, I'm just imagining My Chemical Romance somewhere blaring in the background there as he speaks.
Yeah, that or the butt rock that you usually get in Sanic games.
Yeah.
Always good. Yeah, he doesn't look particularly phased by 5 hit points of damage. But we continue with the order. Buddy, you have not many people left in the crowd, but you know, you've got other options. You've got Honest Dom and Diggian to interact with. And I mean, like, if you're very sneaky, you could do something to do this fight, but I'm not sure I'd recommend that, frankly.
No, I'm not with my luck.
Yeah, your rolls! My god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Buddy is actually just gonna go, just say, he's just annoyed by his previous phase and just gonna punch Dubbin in the face. Just trying to knock him out because he's annoyed.
Which one are you trying to punch?
The dopey cat.
Oh, Diggian! Diggian didn't do
Yeah,
anybody any harm, bless his soul. Go on, punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Well, roll to hit. I mean, we've got to play it fair.
Yeah, it's 1d20, right? Yeah.
And plus whatever you have for an unarmed attack.
Yeah, okay.
Because your rubbery
Okay,
limbs can
strength
get
plus
that far.
4. Yeah. Plus 4. Ooh.
13. I'm gonna say, like, this character does not have a high AC. I'm gonna say he's got 13 as an AC. And you sneak your rubbery hose arm, and I think I can envision your hand tapping him on the shoulder, and his face turns around, and then you punch him in the face. So, roll damage.
Yes. So it is.
Buddy has anger issues.
Yeah.
He has. Well, is it 1d20 again, or is it just?
Not a d20 for damage. My God, no. It's just an unarmed strike, so it's probably what your strength bonus is straight up.
Plus 4. Hang on.
Plus 4. Okay.
Oh, hang on.
Well, it's probably just 4 damage in fact.
1d8. Yeah, 1d. Hang on.
A d8 for a punch?
No. Sorry, I'm looking at weapons. My bad.
I think it's probably just going to be a 4. Plus, I would advise you not hit him too hard. Like, this child doesn't have many hit points.
Oh, he's a kid. Oh,
Well, no, he's not a kid, but he is an idiot. Also, comic relief. Also, was not designed to be a part of any conflict, so I don't have stats, but I'm gonna guess it's like sitting somewhere around 12 hit points, I'm gonna say. Yeah, you like half his hit points by smacking him in the face. And in fact, like, that's such an impact that he comically flops to the ground with the tweeting birds flapping around his head. And I'm afraid, like, Honest Dom is absolutely going to notice his best friend, sidekick, buddy, comic relief stooge having been knocked the fuck out. So, yeah, he's immediately aghast dramatically and is like, dig in, talk to me! And starts, like, slapping him really hard, like, trying to wake him up and shaking him back and front, but it's making it worse.
But he's just, like, instantly whistling.
Yeah, he probably didn't notice it was you. Grand Mappa, what on earth are you going to do? This chaos abounds.
Grand Mappa is going to look at Cujo and raise their hand and like show they have Spare the Dying ready. They're not going to cast it because there's nothing to cast it on, but they're showing this is the spell that I have. You don't have to worry about not throwing the fight. And I think actually they're gonna save their turn because I have no idea what I could do because there's so much chaos. I think they're just gonna wait.
That's fair enough. I mean, I will say that speaking is a free action. Like, Kucho, if you're feeling like a bit like worried about this, you can voice that.
Do I know what they casted me?
Yeah, you just saw her them wiggle their fingers, and you don't really know what that meant.
Because I think they already lost hope in me in a real sense, and it makes him feel bad. Like I know this is, so yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's going to give his if they already lost the hope on him. But yeah, you say.
Oh no, that's really bad. In fact, because there's so much dissonance happening between you, this time around, Shade is going to make an intelligence check to see if he can figure out what the hell is going on. An 18. Oh dear, he sees right through you, all of you, and he immediately, like, his fighting stance changes, and he just kind of stands up and is like, oh, I see.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well done. Oh dear.
Great job, gang.
And Honest Dom is still so distracted that he's basically just sort of wailing dramatically over the, in inverted commas, corpse of his best friend who is still totally alive, but is holding like a lily in front of his chest with his tongue lolling out, like he's going with it as well. And there's a and Honest Dom looks down at himself and, what? I say, who took my badge? How dare you? I know it was you! And he is pointing at you, Grand Mappa.
Okay. I'm sorry, hang on, I'm thinking.
It's okay, I can hear the cogs turning. Also, if it wasn't very obvious, the was a certain speedy hedgehog. But he moves very fast, so it is understandable that Honest Dom wouldn't have seen that it was him that did this.
I think Grand Mappa is going to... Okay, so I think Grand Mappa is going to look at Shade and gasp. And they're going to point at Shade and say, cheater! And they're going to cast Hellish Rebuke to try and prove that Shade just did that. Mm-hmm. Because everybody knows if this hits and hurts, like, he's gonna be gasping and staggering, and obviously that means he's guilty.
Yep.
Shit, you have to make a dexterity saving throw, and I've already used up my inspiration.
You have, and he does have a +4, but that doesn't mean anything if I roll a 1. Which I almost did. A 9, I don't think that's gonna do it, is it?
No, the DC is 12. You take 2d10 fire damage.
Ooh. Excellent move. Please roll damage. Burn me. Oh! 16. Hang on, I've just got to do a little bit of maths in my brain, and yeah, okay, yeah, he didn't like that. He looks very surprised and also angry. Oh, he's got the moody, angry, angsty eyebrows on you now. He says, "Well, you're no fun." And Honest Tom understands completely what has happened, and he doesn't look thrilled about the fact, and you know, he was very eager to point the finger at you, any of you in fact, but he isn't eager to cause an argument with this guy.
Grand Mappa, fortunately, is cheater. Do you need me to roll performance to start riling up the entirety of the crowd, no matter how scared they are?
Yeah.
Because that was an obvious cheat.
Sure, I will point out you actually now only have a couple of people left, unfortunately, buddy. I would say, like, though, if the other two of you are in on this gag, you can also roll performance to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on it too.
A 22? A 22? I mean, Grandmampa's got this, but it'll be fun to see how well you guys do as well.
Performance -1, so...
A clown with -1 just kills me every single time.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, it's good. A 2. Oh my goodness, the dice have been really bad to you.
It's because of my first Toonkind game back.
Must be.
You'll get your mojo back, don't worry.
Yeah.
I know.
Kanpukugu, do you want to roll performance? Or, I don't know, is Kucho's like confused by what's happening?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll performance or something to say, to bring back this guy and say, hey, the fight is with... What can I roll?
Yeah, I think you could argue that would be intimidation. But, yeah, performance, persuasion, or intimidation. Take your pick.
Performance.
Okay. We're all about the performing in this game. A 9. Yeah, well, here's the thing, like, again, like, he's not particularly bothered about you. The people that you're trying to persuade are the remaining people. You've got 1 very good success, but it's 1 out of 3, and there's kind of like a sort of, yeah, boo, but they're all also kind of looking at each other like, I don't know what's going on.
What's happening? Nobody's knows what's happening.
Yeah, everything's got a bit confused. So even though, like, Grandmappa, they're on your side, because, like, again, like, all of these people did actually really like Grandmappa, so even though, I think maybe your mustache fell off while all this was happening, and, yeah, so they're kind of on your side, but they're also kind of, A, confused, and B, this guy is still kind of, like, he has a reputation, and he's flipping that badge up and down. And you are going to understand why he's had this reputation. He's like, yeah, you really shouldn't make enemies with the Yakuza, you know. They aren't really as funny as they used to be. Oh, you didn't think those hyenas I was working with were the only people? I mean, I've got lots of friends. Oh, and Dom. And Dom looks very anxious. He's like, I know we gave you this shiny little toy as like a thank you for being the face man for that operation, but the upper people, they think you've been abusing your power. We think we'll be taking this back now and giving it to a more responsible party. And he pins it on himself. So
wait.
Yeah, that's where you're at. So for those people listening, the Yakuza, who are not the Yakuza, they operate in Ghibli.
Sorry.
Totally different people. The Yakuza are a nasty group of nasties. They're a mob family in Anquel, and particularly in the Giznip region. And they have been going for a long time, and they used to be a lot more funny than they are now. And yeah, there's been rumours that they're under new management, and they are nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It sounds like Honest Dog's got to get cement shoes and.
Yeah, that's why he was looking so nervous about the concept of losing the badge, but now he's lost it and he's like immediately in trouble. He is shaking. He's hiding behind Digian, who's still kind of comically pretending to be dead. So, I mean, what do you
Does
do?
anybody else want to take this?
He's gone, or can we like do the trying to get back the badge again?
Yeah, Buddy's actually going to get off the pole.
Yeah.
He's had enough of being the damsel in distress.
The ropes just fall off. They weren't tied on well.
No. He pulls out the massive ball he has. Now it's a clong, so it's like shaped like a unlike his sister, which is a giant Christmas ball. This is more shaped like a Harlequin's mask, but it's on both sides. So one's sad, one's happy.
I like that. Okay, yeah, you're definitely all making a statement of where you stand in terms of like wanting to kick the crap out of this guy, because God, he's annoying. God, he's annoying. I'm playing him. I find him annoying.
Let us win.
I can't do that. I've got to play the game. Anyway, so yeah, you've set that up. I mean, do you want to just roll initiative and go in here?
Yep.
Okay, let's roll initiative. Because I didn't actually roll initiative last time. This is annoying. We've got to do it all again. Sorry, folks.
Sorry. Buddy's out for blood this time.
Oh boy. Yeah, I hope the dice let you like actually do something now. Cause, my gosh. Okay, so we got at the moment Kucho's in the lead, followed by Shade, followed by Grandpa. Ah, there it is! There's Buddy's good roll on initiative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your roll was for do you want to write out the new initiative, or do you want me to?
Yeah, no, hang on, I will write it down. It is Buddy, then Kucha, then Jade, then Grandmappa. Sorry folks listening, this is always the most boring bit. And then there's someone else in the order. So, that's where we're at.
Alright.
And
Buddy,
I'll pin
you're
that.
up.
Yeah, Buddy, you are up.
Okay. Buddy's gonna swing his he's gonna swing his ball straight at him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going straight in. That's 1d20 plus 4. Plus 4.
17. Ooh. Yeah, that matches his AC. You hit.
So it's 1d. It is 2d6 plus.
Here comes
plus
the damage. 2. Here comes the pain.
Yep. And he's gonna action surge after this.
Okay, can I just ask what kind of damage this is, which is necessary?
Oh, it is melee damage.
Melee damage. Do you mean bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning, yes.
Yes, okay. I've got some bad news coming for you, but carry on.
Oh dear. Plus 4. Oh.
Typing for the damage is always difficult because you have to think about dice when you're playing a game, which is for audio.
Yep, sorry. Yeah.
9. Okay.
9.
In fact, that's not so bad that he's going to use that feature yet. So he does take 9 damage. He says oof but it's like in a cool, gritty, angsty way. Like, he didn't really mean oof. He just meant, oh no, what a shame. But actually, he meant oof because 9 hit points of damage is pretty. That's quite a lot. Okay. Is that your whole go, or were you going to action surge?
I'm gonna action surge.
Yeah, do it. Roll to hit. Can you hit this twit? You can.
Oh,
A 17 again! Nice. That's your lucky number.
I know. 2d6 plus 4.
11. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna say that's good enough that he does employ the Acme effect. So you swing this mallet down, and the first time it definitely it was convincing, like that made a real hit. This time it's like the detection isn't turned on, like it kind of clips through him slightly. It looks like a really badly programmed thing. But whatever the case, he takes half as much damage as that. So.
Okay.
He's still kind of like irritated, and you are like, these are stacking up. I will say these are stacking up. However, I would remind you what he did to you last time. That's all I'm going to say. Kucho, it is your turn.
Okay, so good. I finally don't have the holdback. So here we go again.
Here we go. That's not gonna do it. Nope. 6 doesn't do it. 5 doesn't do it. You gonna do anything else?
I'm gonna use a flurry.
A 24, nat 20. Woo! We have a nat 20. Ding, 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 ding.
And I think that one hit, right?
Yeah, no, the 10 one. But you've got one nat. You got a crit.
How many is the crit here?
I just double the points that it does because that's easier. It's just, life is simpler. I'm not good at maths. And it's also it just feels better when you get twice as many as you roll. Like, who can be bothered doing all that re-rolling attack dice? Not me. My brain is not big enough for big maths.
No, I'm not very good at
Okay, 10. Yeah, you hit for 10. Again, oh no, you can only do that once a turn. Yeah, you hit him for 10 damage. Do you want to describe, because you missed 3 times, so it's very dramatic when you actually manage to hit him.
So I jump. Since the 5K is over, I jump, leaving these guys behind, and three hits misses, but ironically, but one kick directly into the chest, and I'm gonna ask you to do a dexterity save.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
Because open hand technique. If he doesn't success, he's going prone.
Ooh, 22. I'm afraid that looks like a success to me.
Yeah, it was. He's getting tired of dealing with that guy. It's a very hard kick in the chest.
That makes sense.
He's engaged. He's gonna say, "You, the last time you left, you told something. You said something to me. You say I was cute, and that's not true. And you're gonna pay for that." And he's kind of getting a little bit figurative because he's like that when he gets prized or complimented or like that. But yeah, he finally can get his kind of revenge about that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And he is kind of irritated enough that he pays attention to what you said, but he still sort of stands up after recovering from this really good hit, even though he dodged the other 2 with panache. And he looks at you discerningly and says, you really don't want to make an enemy of the ultimate life form. And I need you all. I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw because he's wearing the badge, my dudes. This thing works in an area effect. So 18 succeeds, a 5 does not.
Okay.
A 7 does not.
No.
And I'm not even going to bother with Honest Tom because he's just a coward. So I'm afraid the only person who succeeds is Grand Mappa. The other two of you really take this to heart, and in fact you have the status ailment of being afraid, which means you will do anything to run away from this guy, basically. Certainly for the next round you'll be able to make another wisdom saving throw on your next turn. But you're afraid of this guy, you're listening to everything he says, you do not want to engage. In fact, you would really, really like him to go away. But Grand Mappa, you ain't taking shit. You just, like, stand there and are unimpressed, which is great because it is your turn now, because I can't be bothered making him do another attack, because that was OP enough as it is.
You think you're cute.
Oh.
You think you're very clever. We're stronger now than we were the last time we saw you. My friends will wake up momentarily. All I really have to do is keep you here, you absolute brat. And they cast Thorn Whip. I am making a melee spell attack.
Nice.
24.
18. Oh, ouch! Yowie! Oh, yeah, you got him.
He's gonna take 1d6 piercing damage.
Oh, pointy.
3 damage, and more importantly, he is pulled 10 feet closer to you, closer to me.
Okay. Do you want to know something absolutely hilarious? Because
yes,
this is a Sanic character. Guess what I made him vulnerable against? Spikes!
Yeah.
You're welcome. So he actually takes 6 damage, and that really hurt. He did not like that. He doesn't like spikes.
And Grand Mappa's eyes are glowing this slight green, and you can actually, from the prosthetic leg that you can see, you can actually tell it's originating from that. You can tell that actually the prosthetic is the focus of whatever pact they have made.
Wow, that's cool. I like it. Ooh, the spooky flavor.
Spooky leg.
Okay, and is that your entire go? Is there something else you want to do? Bonus actions, movement?
Gramappa just looks at them and goes, They know edgy people. They know they don't like being taunted, so whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
Ooh.
Okay, and that whatever man precedes the last person in the order, which is Honest Dom. And I'm going to make a roll, and then I'm going to say what it is. 24. Oh, thank you, gods of the dice. Okay, so Honest Dom has been watching this whole thing. He's bitten clean through his gloves. He has no gloves now. He's been so anxious about this. And he's sort of been weighing up the balance and sees all of this occurring. And then he gently puts Digian down in a graceful way and puts his top hat on Digian's chest, in a sort of respectful, you're definitely not dead, but I'm going to pretend like you are, just because I'm a theatrical fox, and that's what we do. And he takes a deep breath, and he says, with a very big smile, "Hey there, let me just make a suggestion. Offer an option for your delectation, my dear. There's another point of view here, just another choice to choose, dear. And while at the moment you may not agree, I'm sure I'll change your mind, just listen to my plea." And he has just used suggestion on Shade, and he is totally on your side. He has just completely bamboozled this hedgehog who had only the time to look surprised but not surprised at this betrayal because, he'd already betrayed him. And he just goes completely vacant and has this sort of silly smile on his face. In fact, it's only on one half of his face. Got a really weird character design this hedgehog. It's a very odd decision, that. And he is completely zombified. And Honest Dom looks so tired and exhausted, and he's just like, can you just... Okay, here's what we're going to do. And he takes the badge off Shade and says, I'm just going to take that, sweetie. Is that all right? And Shade nods in a sort of, hey, yes, fine. And Honest Dom walks over very shakily with a shaking hand and gives the badge to Buddy. And he's like, you know what? Let's just call this quits. If you'll do me a big favor, all three of you, please.
I'm willing.
Go on.
What do you want?
And he drops on his knees and he says, please, if anybody asks, don't tell them where you got that badge. I'm going to tell them that I got mugged. Oh, no, I know what you can do. I need you to use that badge on me. You need to get me to believe that I was mugged, robbed by some... And Digian points at his face, even though he's lying down and he's pretending to be dead. And he's like, yes, masked thieves. I had no idea who they were. They took all my worldly belongings, and he gives you all whatever money he had in his pocket, and you now all have an extra 30 gold each. Congratulations.
Yeah, Buddy looks at... I'm sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. He's like, just use the badge, make me believe it. You have to make me believe they'll use Zone of Truth on me. I know they do this to people.
Yeah, Buddy looks down at Honest Dom and say, I will do this under one condition.
Oh, anything.
Yeah, Buggy just grabs him by his clothes and bleeds him in. Give, and pulls him in each word. Give me your hat.
You see his bottom lip quiver because it's one of the coolest things he owns, and he's like, all right, and goes over and he gets the hat and he gives you the hat.
All right. And Buddy just straight, dusts himself off, places the hat under a triumphant, and he uses the badge to say, you were mugged by mysterious mass strangers in the night. You weren't here, and you're a good man who doesn't lie, who doesn't con people, and you and your friend are going to live your lives helping people for the rest of your lives.
And because he purposefully was going to fail his will save, he buys the whole story. And, yeah, these are not the drones you're looking for. You have completely successfully mind-wiped this fox. And at the moment, you have Shade in a very suggestible state. But I will point out that that's going to run out soon. So, if you have questions, ask them now. Or if you want to run away very quickly, that's also a good idea.
All right, Buddy's actually got to go over to him.
Okay.
Who is leading the Yakuza now?
You actually see his face contort a bit, and he's like, classified.
Who?
It's probably not worth pressing him, darling.
No.
Grand Mappa is
Right.
gonna lean up right next to Shade's face and say, after Honest Dom is revealed, see if you can get Yakuza to forget him. He's not worth the effort of killing him. Just forget him. He's gone.
And Shade has that silly smile on his face, which really doesn't suit his character design, but he nods with half-lidded eyes.
And Diggory as well. And his little cat friend. Both of them are gone.
Yeah. And he nods to that as well.
Grand Mappa then backs up. They're pretty satisfied with this.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question, Mod. Are we near like the ocean, or is it just?
Yeah.
Is it in town?
You're near a dock. I said this is a seedy pub by the waterfront, which is a Basil of Baker Street reference. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so Buddy, I take it Grand Mappa's let go of Shade at this moment, and he's still in the stupor.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Grand Mappa's hands off at this point.
What Buddy's going to do? He's going to get his maul, do a classic, almost like a baseball-esque.
Okay,
Whack Shade into the water.
I was gonna say, before you do that, does Kuko have anything he wants to do?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I'm gonna just say the shade that you don't say people they're cute. No, don't do that.
And in fact, Shade looks at you, and he's in this sort of dopey delirium, and he says, "But you are cute." And then he gets hit in the face with a mallet, and he falls in the water.
Everybody just goes, "That's the way to do it," and just does a bow.
Don't say that we're covering his eyes with his ear. Like yeah, he got like.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Kuko. I don't think you're cute at all.
Yeah, he's flustered.
I think we will end on this hilarious conversation, which, you know, you walk away into the early morning, because this has taken all night, I imagine. So we leave these three silhouettes disappearing into the rosy dawn light, and you return to Gelato and Okinapin and Jeremy, and you give Jeremy the badge back, and you have closure! And it's wonderful! And you feel extremely happy because you got 30 gold. You also have a nice natty top hat. But the best thing is that Jeremy can't give you the badge, obviously, because it's very special. It's very special, this badge. But he gives you a blessing on behalf of the Green Fairy. And you have this kind of little knighting thing, which is really funny because he wants to try and knight you with his little umbrella, but he's way too short. So Okinapin actually has to hold him. So while he's dubbing the worthy of the blessing of this official conscious badge. And conscience, not conscious. It's because you're knocking everybody else into the water. So what this does is it grants you a boon, and once per long rest, you have a +4 to persuasion.
Oh.
So, you want to write that down for the future. So yeah, once per long rest, 4 to persuasion, enjoy that. And I think this is the natural end of the game. Is there anything any of you would like to add?
Nothing, really. Buddy's very content with himself. He's dusting off the new hat. And he's got a new sense of self-confidence in himself.
Apparently so. It took us all by surprise.
Yeah.
Grand Mappa is like they really took the last 2 hits pretty bad. The last 2 games, both ending so poorly, like really did give them a hit to their self-esteem. I was lying when I said they weren't moping. So they're like chest puffed out. They're like trying not to show it because they know that like they're old enough. They really shouldn't be affected by 2 losses and then a win. But they're definitely pleased with the fact that this one managed to work out because they've been needing a win for a while, man.
Oh, bless. Oh, I think Gelato understands this and is very, very sympathetic towards you. You know, being an OAP, you know, gotta stick together, man.
Yeah.
All right, Kuko, you have anything?
Yeah.
Well, another good job well done. This was really help him in getting jobs in the future to not starve. And but he's again into this. I'm not cute. Who say I'm cute? I'm not cute.
You'll accept it one day. Being cute is not a crime, but you know it is a skill. Enjoy your rewards, and thank you very much for playing this game. It was completely bonkers. I loved it. Thank you very much for basically writing it for me. That was great. I didn't expect it to go that way, but it was perfect.
I'm so glad you let us roll with the fight club thing. I can't believe it worked.
That was awesome. What a good idea.
I can't believe you let Buddy keep the hat.
Oh, come on. I mean, that's just like such a character upgrade. It's really good. And anyway, with Honest Dom, now going to actually be Honest Dom with what you did to him, I think the Hukus are absolutely just going to let him go because he's completely useless to him. They don't want a goody two-shoes on their team. That's no good at all. So, his character design has changed. So, he's rocking the accepting his ear heritage. So, yeah, I think this works really well. Thank you very much for playing, and I will wrap.
This was so fun.
Thank you for all meeting up again after so long. I am so sorry it took so long.
It's fine. I needed this. I have missed playing Toonkind D&D so much.
And again, I'm sorry if it's a while before any of you play again, because we have so many players now. Oh my god, the Discord has just exploded.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's a good problem, but wow. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and stop recording and go and eat some food, because I need some food. Okay, that was great. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.